Am I on? Hello, good afternoon. I am the opening act for a smart city panel that will be here in 10 minutes. And this is a very good segue from the previous session about the role of all technologies that are mature enough to give us digital transformation 2.0. So what is make digital transformation 2.0 mature enough to be worth new version? Because we have been in digitalization for almost 2 decades, if not longer. I would like you to imagine a very simple scenario. You finish work, you put the destination of home in your potentially self-driving car, and you get a notification from your connected fridge that the milk is out. And you have either set up the system that the fridge will order the milk by itself, or with a couple of clicks, you get a drone, supermarket drone, to drop it off at your home, or you decide somebody else in the household needs to take care of that. And you see, just to be able to do that, the amount of connectivity and information sharing, especially smooth data flow, is enabled by digital transformation 2.0. What we're talking about here is autonomous systems. And autonomous systems is enabled when we have all digital and physical assets connected. The true digital transformation happens when you have the assets connected, secure and reliable data flowing across the system. And that is only possible with Internet of Things. And Internet of Things has been around for almost 2 decades in the domestic area, and before that, as long as we have had nuclear power plants, M2M, machine-to-machine protocols has been in place. And first, when it moved to the domestic usage, like wearables, smart hospitals, smart cars, that we see that this evolution and revolution of devices, platforms, connectivity. Today, you can find low-orbit satellites enabling secure connectivity in Europe just for 5,000 euros. We can own a low-orbit satellite. We're talking about 5G. So digital transformation 2.0 has been enabled because of better connectivity, more data, which leads to hyper-automation. And one of the obvious use cases that was earlier talked about here is digital twin. Digital twin of human in health, so it can help the doctors to emulate different scenarios around the sickness. Digital twin of a city, and in manufacturing, digital twin of a manufacturing line. There you can use the historical data, the emulated data, and the live data to really emulate different scenarios. And that leads to hyper-automation. So where we go from here, because we are still not living in that autonomous system world. The challenges that are, we have the legacy system. If you look at especially Europe and US, just looking at manufacturing sector, you see in terms of the challenges that is there in terms of the legacy system. We have then the digital debt, which is the last 10, 12 years in terms of enabling different digital systems in the enterprise without actually connecting them from the start. So the data flow is not happening, and they are siloed and are not interpreted with each other. And third, which has been coming up today over and over again is the human capital, the how to upskill the workforce to be able to keep up with the new evolution, this faster and faster evolution of technology. So where we go from here, from Digital 2.0 with autonomous systems, which today has created economic model that wasn't in place. So digital economy, the first stage we have seen in terms of machine economy, that the SaaS systems, for instance, is a good example. The subscription models, for example, is a really good example of new economic systems. But the next stage with Web3, distributed ledger, and quantum computing will lead to machine-to-machine economy, which is a whole new era in terms of digital transformation. So from now, which is the start of digital transformation 2.0, we have a long way to go to digital transformation 3. And the regulatory aspect, the security aspect, the privacy aspect, and the legacy system aspect that is being addressed by the government, by the companies, needs to be resolved. And also, as mentioned, the human capital at the core of that. And with that, I would like to invite the Smart City panel panelists to come up and so we can start the session. I think I'm on time. Yes, thank you.
Excuse me. So Ms. Azita will continue with us to moderate smart and cognitive cities transforming urban space in MENA. Please welcome our esteemed speakers, Mr. Zoran Lazarevic, CTO from Middle East and Africa at Ericsson, Mr. Samir Mubarak, Chairman of Nafith International Group, and Mr. Yousef Amoura, co-founder and CEO of Sagar Drone.
Thank you and welcome to our panelists. As I mentioned, I had the opening act and we talked about the digital transformation 2.0. And one of the key use cases in digital transformation 2.0 is smart cities. And just this morning, I asked ChatGPT, what is the purpose of smart cities? And the top 3 answers were better life for citizens, sustainability, and effective usage of resources in a city. We have with us 3 distinguished panelists that work and contribute through different technology solutions in a smart city. So I would like to start with you, Zoran, for you to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your work in that space.
Thank you, Azita. So my name is Zoran Lazarevic. I'm CTO for Middle East and Africa at Ericsson. Long time in Middle East, over 25 years. From 2005 in Dubai, before that is Oman, so I really know the region. Ericsson, as you know, is one of the biggest vendor for mobile communication. And when we are talking about a smart city, we are talking about connecting so many sensors, connecting drones, which we're going to discuss, connecting transport. So connectivity is at the base, really, all of this. And that's where mobile connectivity comes, and that's where Ericsson can contribute. So I'm assuming that's what we're going to discuss.
Thank you, thank you. And you, Samir?
Yes, my name is Samir Mubarak. I've been an entrepreneur in the region here with multiple different disciplines. And today I'm here representing Nafith International. We work in the logistics space. We work with governments in the PPP space to help streamline, digitalize, and really transform streamlining of cargo around ports, hubs, free zones, special economic zones, and so on. Today, we have expanded globally. We develop our own technology, and that's why we have recently, in the last 3 years, expanded into Europe and even more recently into Asia, Southeast Asia, basically, and even the CIS.
Thank you. And Yousef?
So I'm Yousef Amoura, the CEO and co-founder of Sagar Drone. We started Sagar back in 8th year. While I was in my last year in the university, I got my bachelor's degree in aeronautical engineer, and I was also one of the brilliant students who work on building the first satellite and CubeSat system for the kingdoms. During this period, I got a chance to work with different kind of robotics and control system, where I fall in love in building those kind of robotics. Getting those access gave me an inspiration to start Sagar, and we launched our first company, which is called Sagar Drones, with a vision to be as an enabler to equip our clients with the knowledge and know-how to use drone. With that start, we launched our first product, which was Drone Academy, where we were great enough to meet with our clients and understand their need. Being close to them, educate us what are the key challenges that they are facing adopting this kind of technology and why they are looking to invest. Those challenges, we transfer them and we launch our product. It's called Sagar Space, where we transfer from being a growing business into a scalable business, operating more than 8 countries all over the world, mainly in GCC and Jordan. Dispatching robotics for a better future on asset digitization and asset management. So this is how our journey starts. I'm excited to dive more into deep during this session.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So smart cities being one of the use cases of digital transformation 2.0 is about integration and connectivity of the physical and digital assets to enable data flow and enable artificial intelligence to help citizens and government to make the right decision. So from your perspectives, or from Ericsson, what are the solutions and roadmap looks like for digital a smart city development?
When we talk about connectivity, of course, it's 5G connectivity is the base of smart city, and then we are talking here about 5G. 5G is a very different G from any other G. Any other G was really for communication with the people, for making phone calls or surfing the web. 5G is designed to supporting connectivity between machines. So really it is a core of many use cases with smart city. But still when we are discussing here, we feel this is a little bit futuristic. It's not first time that we are discussing about smart city, and feel when we talk about use cases that it feels a little bit futuristic. It's not happening still. And there is a strong reason why it is. It is because 5G is designed for different use cases, and it is ecosystem play. It was simple with 4G, it was simple with 3G. We have only one use case, you need a phone and network, and that's it. Now we need all these devices distributed across the industry, across the smart city to enable that automation. I will give you one example of the challenge, for instance. I think it's a good example. We was doing one POC, proof of concept, with one operator in Middle East of automation in the ports. In the ports, they have these big cranes to load the ship. It's like 100-meter construction, super heavy. And then today they are controlling them with the people sitting physically on that crane, or they are controlling remotely but with a cable. And when you're doing something with the cable, it's limited what they build. So there are clear use cases to do it over wireless, over 5G. And 5G can do it. 5G has this speed, latency. So we was discussing with a company which is producing the software for control how to do it safely, and to do POC. First thing we asked them, what is the latency requirements? They said 20 milliseconds, no problem, 5G can do 20 milliseconds. But then what we figure out, it should be 20 milliseconds in 100% of time. And when you do wireless, anything which is wireless, it cannot go 100% of the time. You can have 3 nines, 4 nines, 5 nines, but 100% time it's not physically possible. And what's happened if it's 1 in 0.0%, 1 bit is lost, system is designed, software is designed in that way that it will assume connection is lost, and it will go into safe mode. It will move that multi-ton container uncontrolled from one position to other. Will it hit the boat? Will it hit some person, somebody? We don't know. So I think that's, and of course we abort and we didn't go for that POC. And I think this is a good example showing how you need the whole ecosystem. Of course you need network, and here in Jordan we have now 5G, but you need actually whole ecosystem, software, devices to support so that we have these use cases coming. And it is coming, but it takes some time.
Absolutely, and that enables the data flow, the seamless data flow across the ecosystem.
Absolutely.
So the design of the system needs to take consideration for every single components of it.
Correct.
Samir, are you seeing the same challenges in your space and in terms of the roadmap that you have for smart cities?
Smart cities need cargo, and they need to distribute this cargo even within the city. So most cities have ports or logistics hubs that they have to deal with. And previously, before COVID, we started thinking, all of our thinking for 20 years was just in time. How can we deliver just in time? Ships have to arrive on time. Cargo has to be taken out of the port in time. We talked about something called dwell time and truck turnaround time and KPIs that are just related to just-in-time cargo into the factory or into delivery. But today, there has been so much disruption through COVID and after COVID. We're looking at geopolitical issues that are massive. We're looking at weather disruptions such as the Panama Canal and even geopolitical around the Suez Canal and so on. And really things are becoming more complicated. The connectivity of data is actually allowing us to do at this point in time just in case, not just in time. This is a global challenge. And where we fit as a company is to try and streamline the cargo to become more just in time than just in case. And even for last mile today is a challenge. Optimization, route planning inside the city, all affect how we live and how we operate and how we interact with the environment around us. And specifically, we still think just in time today with deliveries and with drones and with the telecommunication required by Ericsson and so on, but still data integration and digitalization is the biggest challenge today and still remains to be so.
Thank you, and I think this is a really good segue to what you do, Yousef, in terms of enabling that data integration and flowing data across the system. So tell us a little bit more about how your solution contributes to development of smart cities.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, if you look at the investment direction now, all over the world, the largest project in Earth is city digitization, or what they called digital twinning, right? We saw a lot of billions of dollars being investments in AI, and another $1 billion being investment in robotics. Either it was air and land sea robotics. And why they are going to those kind of robotics? Because they are a great tool to harvest data. And with the infrastructure like connectivity, it becomes a perfect infrastructure to carry this data. So this is why I look into it as a new commodity. It is the commodity of the future. And the main challenges the government now are facing, how I can make sure that this data is resilient, is secure, and also it could be interrelated with others so I can unlock more value. The biggest challenge my clients and the world is facing, I have too much data, and there's a new word called data fatigue. I'm overwhelmed with all of those things, and how I can unlock more intelligence, more insights. So those complexity is coming because multiple things. Vendor complexity, there's no one source for all of this data. We can see a lot of IoT devices, drone systems from different brands. We can see all of the processes being manual operated, manual integrated, or even into silos. So we ask ourselves how we could develop a complete ecosystem. We call it Sagar Space, where it's triangulate between the robotics, or what we call data service providers, and AI within one ecosystem that enable the client to change the way they are interacting with robotics and data. Let me give you an example. The construction industry in 2021, it was 14% out of the global GBRD. The amount of losses due to decision out of lack of proper data, it was $1.8 trillion. That's because we do have data, but they are not compatible in a way that I can take better insights. So I would imagine today, if we utilize all of those infrastructure and we set a unified ecosystem that is along to the client and the government way, they would be able to reach one step forward to our smart cities and other applications.
Thank you. And that really takes us to the elephant in the room. There is no true smart city and true digital transformation without the AI, especially the revolution that we have seen in the last 2 years. So Zoran, I come to you in terms of the impact that you see the AI development has had in terms of the connectivity in the smart cities.
No, but AI is really embedded in any corner, any part of the network. I mean, we are using AI for a long time to optimize energy consumption of network, of sites, of radio. Of course, this is reducing energy, which is also sustainability, meaning reducing CO2 emission. But now it's even much higher level. What we are talking about is intent-driven network. What does it mean? Meaning operator is saying, I want to build that use case for smart city. I need to connect those sensors or those drones, and he will come really with that intent and start speaking, communicating with bot on the network, which will start asking, okay, what kind of speed you need, what kind of capacity you need, which area you need to cover, and based on this information, it will start understanding and configuring all the nodes in the network to provide connectivity. So, I mean, we have really embedded in any corner of the network AI.
Thank you. And yes, it is, I would say, early stages in terms of the generative AI development and in terms of really getting the ROI out of this. But this is something that we cannot ignore and is really going to impact everything that we do. I want to come to you, Samir, about sustainability, because as I said, according to AI, sustainability is one of the purposes of a smart city. So how do you see that in logistics and transportation?
Well, logistics and transportation contributes 11% to the emissions around the world. So they are considered one of the major contributors. So if you look at a port, actually you get a ship with so much cargo operating with multiple very efficient engines, and then it drops the cargo into that port, and then multiple and hundreds of trucks actually have to do multiple trips to be able to haul that cargo out of the port, and which have less efficient engines, and accordingly they contribute much more to emissions and so on. And because of that, what we do with AI is to try and optimize these routes. And with optimization, for example, our work in Aqaba throughout the years initially introduced 20% less emissions, and then today we have reached 30% less emissions because of what we call cargo synchronization. And it really reduces, I don't have the numbers out of my head right now, but they contribute, and we report on this every year to the World Bank. It's how many tons we save of CO2 and other emissions because of transport. I just want to say one more thing, that SDGs, out of the 17 SDGs that have been mentioned, have been specified by the United Nations, smart cities affect 7 of them. And they contribute to all of our lives and enhance them because we are trying to do smart cities.
If I can add, I mean, I like this question about sustainability and smart city, and we have one very good example which I would like to present, if possible, on the smart city. I mean, it's fully agree with Samir that, of course, transportation is one of the biggest challenges when it comes to sustainability and pollution. And one use case which we did for the smart city was in Europe a couple of years back for micro-transportation. I mean, transportation is, of course, a big challenge in the city. Taking a car for 10 minutes, 15 minutes drive is for one person. So what was done with that use cases is that company was thinking of using scooters and offering the scooters for transportation. But there is many challenges. First, users easily need to locate where are those scooters. And that you can do with the app. You have app, you have connectivity, you have GPS on that scooter, so everybody can find scooter. Then also scooters is very difficult. Sometimes it can be dangerous also. Some area where there is a lot of pedestrians, you don't want scooters to go there. No problem at all. If you have location, if you have connectivity, you can limit the speed for that scooter. So when scooter is entering this area, the speed is going down. And of course, for the company who is maintaining and offering this as a service, they need to know what is the battery level, what is the maintenance examples. All of this is related to connectivity. And what they did on the end, they also add sensors for air quality and noise. So each and every scooter was also measuring air quality and noise pollution in the city and providing all this data to municipality.
Thank you. Of course, this is a very layered and multidimensional question. Our time is up, but I would like to ask for one more minute and ask Yousef about usage of data and a use case there in terms of efficient use of resources in the city. If I may, just 1 minute, please. Sure.
So with all of those data, and robotics are emitting and transmitting cameras, images. And we will hear a lot a new term, which is single source of truth. And with the development of machine learning and AI, there is a new term. We used to learn more about computer vision. Today, there's also machine vision. And we are looking into the picture from different perspectives. You can see it from a governmental entity or construction entity. Others, they can see it, the same exact picture from more into energy perspective. So the development of machine vision allow us to read and express what are the kind of insight we can get out of this one same vision, same data sets. And this is where a new terminology will come, which is shared data economy. We will have one source of data that are aggregated into that single source of truth, which is the space I was mentioned. And I'm also proud to mention that we are going to launch in Q2 2025 a project is called Sagar-I. Sagar-I is more about machine vision that enable all of our clientele and partners to ask the image. And also, I'm happy to announce that we are part of NVIDIA Inception programs to develop with them more about the computer vision and, the machine vision and other AI applications. So yeah, I think the future become much easier with more of those tools. There were limitations because, once you are overloaded with data, you start saying, oh no, it's enough. I cannot handle more. But now with having all of those large language model, computer vision, and others, our life is becoming much easier. You just ask. So I think, there's a lot of things that is coming ahead.
Thank you. And that's the role of AI in terms of generative AI in handling that data from different sources. And as I said, this is a very complex, layered topics. There's not something to be able to unplug everything in 20 minutes. You can follow us on LinkedIn. Please connect if you have any question about the topics. And I would like to thank the organizer and thank our panel. And I know the time is up, so thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.